Welcome back. Today we're going to be going through a weekly systems check on this set of IPS 600 Volvos. Everything we do week in and week out to make sure that everything is good. We're going to go check the oil, the coolant, and we're going to clean the C strainers. Let's jump in. First thing we do is we'll check the oil on both, then we'll check the coolant on both, and then we'll clean the C strainers on both. And we'll take you through everything, and then we're going to warm it up, make sure we got good seals on our C strainers, nothing's leaking, and that everything looks good afterwards. Here we go. As you do it, you want to see and take a look at where it is. Give it a quick wipe. Stick her back in. I like to give it a 10 count, that way to make sure that it registers. And we're going to pull again. And if you could see, we are at a good level. Typically these don't burn oil until either the oil gets dirty and it's time for an oil change, or if it's fresh oil, then chances are you have something going on. It's always good to monitor it week in and week out. After we've checked the oil and make sure everything is good, we're going to go look at the coolant. Unlike some of the other boats, there are no external reservoirs. So all we're going to do is unscrew these caps, make sure we're right at the top line, and we're good to go. The biggest thing to do with any of this is make sure you do all this when the motor is cool, that way you get an accurate reading. As you can see, we're right at the top underneath the lip. Everything looks good. Make sure you're on nice and tight. It's also worth noting to not mix and match coolants as you do this. If you have Volvo coolant in there, stick to it. And we're good to go on this one. And it's worth noting that if you are using coolant, there's something going on. It could be a crack in the block, or it could just be something that somewhere along the lines things are clogged. Buckle. Want to loosen it up, pull it off, pull this. You see you got this gasket right here that you want to make sure you get a good seal when you put it back in. It's also worth noting that unlike traditional straight shaft motors, you don't actually have to close the C-cock to the motors. For these, they don't pour in water. Pull the basket, let the water drain out, and you can see we got quite a bit of growth in here. So we're going to bring this on the dock and we're going to give it a rinse. Now when it comes to putting this back in, you gotta line everything up. You see the hole where the water comes in, and you have two black pegs that fit perfectly in the bottom of the basket. So line everything up and it will slide right in. just like that. And put lid back on, make sure you're on there nice and snug. Take your clasp. Just like nice good seal, just like that. Now that we got everything checked, everything looks good, our C strainers are put back on, our coolant caps are tight, and we've double and triple checked that our dipsticks are in. We're going to fire everything up and let the boat come up to temperature. That's important. Don't just start it and stop it. Let it run, let it bring up, do a little high idle, and make sure everything looks good. Let's do it.